Okay, welcome back, guys. So last time we were working on the CLI, and so this is the current state of the application. When we run the application, we get these four modules. We get the OS, CPU, memory, and GPU. Okay, and actually, we were working with Claude using open code, and the results weren't that much satisfactory, at least not for me weren't that much pleasing for me. But today I'm gonna I want to take it easy. I'm gonna go chill and try fixing most of the issues by hand that I can. I hope that I can debug, create a debug session and go slowly and take it easy. Just try to fix some issues and let's see. Maybe we can get something to work. So let's go and let's start running the application. For example, I know for sure this doesn't work. So let me do this. And instead of sharp fetch, you know that we just run the application right now by passing this double dash. And for example, by passing CPU and memory to the modules, we should get only CPU and memory. But I think after we do this, we get nothing, right? Yep, we get nothing in return. And for example, we could start debugging here. Let's go, and I think we can go and check for module renderer, maybe here. And for example, when we no, this is just for rendering purposes, right? Yes. So we shouldn't be changing anything here, at least not right now. When passing the modules, yeah, list modules. Yes. Oh, yes. This is when we want to list all the modules, which I think this does works. I think it's .NET run. Whoops. Dash dash and then list modules. Yeah, this one works pretty well. Always CPU, memory, GPU. We're missing the description for this one for the CPU. Okay, maybe we can check that later. So this those works. Configuration loader. Okay. Yeah, creates a list of modules, and then if format it's not null, yeah, the format no icons, and then parallel execution. Let me see if the issue can be here. Yeah, it might be here. Get enabled modules. So maybe we can place a breakpoint here. Yep. But to be honest, I'm not sure how can I how can I debug a CLI application, because if I just hit start, I think what VS Code is gonna do is just run the default or the root command, and that's not gonna be like useful for me. No thanks, and I don't care. So let's see. Okay. Anyways, we got in here. Let me see the config right now. So we have 0. Okay. Parallel true and show execution false. The timeout is 5 seconds. So this is false because the configuration has nothing. And that's something, that's actually something. And those enabled by default should be all. Okay. So let's see what we get from here. The modules. Okay, these enumerable maybe. No. Okay, so from here we have all the default modules with is OS, CPU, memory module, and GPU module. Okay, so we get the default modules because those are the ones that are active right now, which is good, I think. So modules and cancellation token. So I think they should come in from above. We have to check the configuration, like it is trying to run from config. Well, yeah, that's a fact because we have it there, you know. And yes, we get our full modules, which is good. Thank you. But let's go even above. Let's go up and see what is going on. Because we should be passing the config, this config object. Yes, and it tries to load here and the config path. Okay, but who is giving the config path, like config option? Okay, the issue is that if we don't have any configuration, let me run this again now that I know this. I think this config. Okay, yeah, same stuff. Let's go. And now here, this configuration. Oof, module configuration, module list, it's 0. Okay, so let me stop this. The thing is that I want to module executor the program. Okay, no, thank you. I want to go here, this config path, because we know for sure this thing is it's no why because we're not passing anything. So do we have a fallback value for this? Let me remove unnecessary usings. I think that's where we have to start. List modules. Also, this one is not working. Let me go and ask ChatGPT how can I refactor? No, how can I debug? How can I debug a CLI application? A .NET CLI app? Nope. .NET CLI application on Visual Studio. The issue is that I want to debug and pass parameters like I don't know, no icons or modules and then modules list. But when I run the debug session, I don't know how can I pass those parameters. Let's see because I haven't debugged a CLI application, or I think that I did when I was learning how to create CLI applications with a pretty interesting book. But I will have to go and check it again, and I think ChatGPT maybe gives us something quicker. Okay, so Visual Studio Code does passes parameters in just a non-obvious place. If your project is a .CLI app, uh, okay. Oh, my issue. I meant to say Visual Studio Code, not Visual Studio. Yeah, because it's different. That's way different. Okay, so through the launch.json. Do we have a launch.json? Nope, I think we have to create that JSON. Okay, okay, let's see if this works. It's 9 sharp fetch. Okay, no icons. Let's just pass no icons for now. If this works, let me see. I think done it run. The default for this is just to run and speed it with icons. So if I can run this and no icons appear in the debug tab, that means we are passing correctly those parameters. No. Um, how can I? No. How can I enable this launch.json? C sharp. Yeah, okay. No. Still debug active file maybe. Oh, yes. Whoa. Um, launch attach to a net process. Okay, these are things that I haven't done before, so maybe remote debugging, something like this. So, okay, so my launch.json should go up. Okay, I think maybe we can remove this one, and this launch.json should be go up here, okay? Settings and launch.json, okay? Let's see and try running this again. No icons. Yes. Now we have this and the icons are not present. So that's that's huge. That's big, okay? Now let's go and actually take the rest of of this, okay? Arguments, was it always like this? No icons. Modules. You know what? I can do no. Okay. comma modules, and then comma CPU and OS, something like this. Comma separated values. So now we should not get anything, right? Because that was the issue that we were having before. And yes, we don't get anything. Okay, so maybe for now, uh, I think maybe we can have this as adjacency, and I can comment this. Is it possible? Let me see. So basically, a JSON C. Okay, do we have anything? No. Okay, so it seems it's not possible. I was trying to use a JSON C file. Basically, a JSON C, it's a JSON with comments. So it is not possible to do that. Okay, never mind. Let's just remove that. And for now, I think we can, yeah, we can remove this and just do Control C later. Okay, but what I am uh, actually concerned about, it's about the configuration, you know, the config path, this guy, okay? We want to know why this guy is, it's not loading anything. So let's try running it again. Okay, so far config path, this is null, obviously. And I think this guy doesn't have a way to, handle those nulls, or okay, it does. It has this null, but configuration builder and this user config path. Mm, oh, I don't quite like this one. Dot sharp fetch dot JSON, because we have this config JSON, but we don't have that dot sharp fetch dot JSON. Okay, so the arguments, it's no icons. Okay, this works fine. Okay, I think we should try and find for what the file should be called for. Config JSON. This is the minimal config. Full system info. That's okay, but why is it that it's trying to find, yeah, this thing? Let me try and do this. Yes. So this default config file name, it's not anywhere. It is not being used actually. I don't like this one. JSON. Um, you know what? Let me open this default config file name. Let me look for it. Yeah, it is not being used. I think this is not good. That may be the reason for the issue. User config file name. Y dot sharfetch dot JSON. Okay. So this is the configuration loader. Let me open it. Let's close this just for the time being. hmm Okay, so now I think instead of looking for the user config file name, we should try to look for the config.json, right? Like, let me change this for default config file name. Oh, I think this is way more useful. Let's see if this works. Okay, let's stop this and go to the debug tab and let's try running this, okay? So it seems we go into the loader now. Yep, let's go. We do have the default config. Okay, so user config path is no, because this is no. So what happened here? I'm concerned about this. Let me make this smaller. Here. So what happens here is that it checked if the default config file name exists. Yeah, but it's not like this. It should go into here. Okay, this is something that I don't get. Why are we having that? Like it shouldn't be like that. Let's remove it from here. so we can go directly to where it checks for it. Get enabled modules. Okay, I don't care for this. Yes, okay, no. This didn't went as expected, okay? So I have to put this back here. Okay, let's go in. And here we create a new builder and we pass this default config file name in the user profile. See, I don't get why this is. Okay, yes, like it's trying to find the .sharfetch.json file into the Oscar folder, my user folder, but that's not what I want. Let me see if we can rebuild. And let's try running this again. Yes, it was a build issue. This does exist, so now it's adding that. Okay, nice, 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 nice. Modules. What module we have? Zero modules. I don't like that because I think we do have CPU and memory. So let's see what we get. If no, man, we're not getting anything. Okay, we have to run this again. Yep. Look, we don't get anything. Let me clear this out and run it again. Oops. Uh, mm, oh, we do display these guys. Oh, is it because of the launch that Jason? No icons. That's nice. You know what? For now, I think we can remove this so we don't pass anything. And let me see. Module, CPU, and memory. Display. Format panels show icons. True. No, let's say false. That way we can know if this is actually loading. And that's it, okay? Now, let's see and try run this again. So let's go in here, config builder, okay, okay. It's gonna add this. Yes, that's the actual issue, I think, because the builder, yeah, this is not the actual path. Um, we need to get for these testing purposes, I need to get the file from here just for these testing purposes. So, okay, I'm using a JSON file for my CLI configuration. How can I make it? I'm gonna make that .NET reads the config file, the JSON config from the current project folder and finds a file named config. Whoops, config.json. Let me see. I think we do already have that. Yep. Okay. Set base path. Yes. Get current directory, and then reload and change true. Okay. I hope this does the trick. Let's try running this again. Yep. Oopsie. Mm. Oh man. Uh, show icons true panel default. But I think my config said false, right? Yes, panels false default true. Yeah. Thank you. No, so let's run this again. Let's go in and then okay, yes. Okay, file exists. Okay. So this config, we have display. We have these, yeah, these are the default values. So I think we're just getting the default values here, right? Yeah, because we have 0 for modules and we should have at least some values for this one. Okay, let me try another thing. I think um For example, I can do something like directory, get current directory, and then default config file name, which is config.json, and then user config path. Yes. And then let's go and say .NET build again and again and again and again and again. Yeah. Until we have something working. Let's run the debug session. Let's go in and now let's see if the config path, yes, it's gonna go up to this file. It does exist. Yep. So now we're adding this file. Yep. And then let's see if we have something in config. Whoa, man, this is tough. Okay. Show icons through. Oh yes, I'm sorry. That's because that's default. Now binding, after binding, maybe yes. We have CPU and memory. That's awesome. Show icons false. Okay, okay, that's exactly what I was expecting. This is big, this is big. I think we have solved the issue. If no icons, this is false. Yeah, I think we can go. Man, this is beautiful. Okay, this is beautiful. Oh, thank God. Um, let's see. So what we have here is that we are using the default color scheme. I think these two values still have no use, but show icons we have false. We don't have any icon. The format we want it in a panel. We have the system information here. That's nice. What else? Parallel execution true. Timeout 5,000 milliseconds. Okay. Now let's say show icons true, and let's add one more. Um, I'm not sure if we have disk. Let me see what module we have. Memory, CPU memory, OS, OS. Okay. Um, let's run it again. I'm so excited right now. I'm so excited. I obviously will have to change this and think about how I want to actually load the config file whenever this turns into real project, because right now we are reading from here and that's not useful. That's not something we want. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Some application does have the config files inside or within their files. Their like base or father parent. I'm sorry, parent folders. But some have them on on your personal documents. So I will have to decide what I want. Okay, let's move on. Yep. Yeah, let's go straight to here down config. We have three modules. We should have three modules. Okay, what is this? What is this? Oh, these are all the values, right? Yeah, 0, 1, 2, CPU memory always. That's amazing. Okay, these are all the raw values. If we go here, we got three. Yes, this is beautiful. And we should have true for icons, right? Show icons true. Yes. Panels. Beautiful. Um, yeah, I think we can remove this. Let's go straight. Yeah. Yes, 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 man. Okay. So far we have fixed one issue, and that was more like my misconception of how the application was working rather than an actual issue in the application. So yeah, as I told you, right now we will have to change the way we do this, and maybe yeah, change where we load this. From where do we load the file? Also, maybe change the naming on the JSON file, because right now dot sharpfetch dot JSON. Well, maybe we can keep this like it is, because for NeoVim, for example, you do have an .nvim file or .nvim.config file, something like that. And I think we can keep uh, the name for this. Okay, maybe I can work on that later. So for now, we are getting the values from the config file. What was the issue? That we didn't have the uh, the config file existing on the path that was supposed to be. Okay, so we can check that out. We have this working. So what if, let me copy this one and create another one. Whoops, no, I'm sorry. My config.json. Okay, that's the next step. And we have this. We only have CPU, so it is obvious. Formats. I don't want panels. I think the other format, what it was like. Let's go to module renderer trees. Do we have something working as trees? Let me see. .NET. Oops. .NET run dash dash. Um, what was it like? I think format trees. Yep, we do have. Okay, so let's say trees, show icons, true, color scheme default, show charts. Okay, so now I want to see if I can make this work. Yes, no, 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 generate config, no. I like this one. Yep, .NET clear, .NET run, dash dash, um, and what it was, config, and let's say, no, but I think I didn't use a dash, right? Yeah, without dash. And I think this is gonna fail because this is trying to work on the root from my entire system. Okay, um, don't we have something like that? No. Oh, okay, my bad. It's configuration. Okay, let's try now. Okay, no. So let's say dot slash. This should work. Mm, more or less. My config.json. Interesting. Why is it so? Yeah, I think it lies here, right? Like the answer lies here. Okay, so let me try and taking this, and let's go to our um, launch JSON and say something like this. Yes, I think we can do this, comma, and then yeah. If we try doing this, maybe I can see the issue here because now we do have a custom config path. Yeah, is this one my config.json, which is big. Let's go in my config.json. Okay, that's good. So we go builder. Hmm. Okay. 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 So far we have this. I think yeah, that's the issue. We add the user config path, and then we also add the custom config path, which is not what we want. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna add a check here. Yeah, yeah, because we are using, yep, command line. Okay, now after binding, oops, let me see this. We have the three modules and we have the trees. Okay, so the thing is easy, and yes, so we have to check if the default config path for the user file exists, the normal and regular configuration exist, and we gotta make sure the custom config path is null or empty. Okay, because if it is not, then we want to use that and not the default. So let's build the solution again. Oops. And we can run it again, and this should be fixed. Let's go in. Yep, in, in. Thank you. Yes. Now we skip adding the user config path, and we use the custom config path because we are passing a custom configuration file, not the regular one. So now the config should have only one module, yes, and the display should be trees. Show icons is true. Let's see if that was okay. Yes. So now let's just go ahead and voila. Look at this. System information, just CPU information, and rendering as trees. Okay. So this is nice. Now we have this working. Uh, Launch. I think again we can remove these guys here. I can close this. Okay, so The modules. Oh yes, 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 yes. Hmm. Interesting. I think that if we pass yes, this one should override the configuration. Generate config. Yes. Okay. Nice. Cat config.json. Okay, no modules. That's okay. That's funny. Okay, so let's try running .NET run dash dash and then modules CPU and oh just CPU. Okay, and memory. Okay, there we go. We have issues. So that's been checked where? Oh yeah, here. Okay, okay. I think we can check the value here. No, no, no. Um, if list modules. Hmm, maybe here. Okay, let's try running this baby. But before, let's go and check for the launch.json modules. Okay, yes, CPU OS only. Let's run this. And I think we can skip this for now. Oop, it didn't let us. Anyways, let me see the config for now. No and no. I think this is because the config has zero. Yes, has no modules. Okay. And that's actually a good thing. Okay, so there we go. We are having this as a single string, right? That's the thing. Where do we modules? Yes. then it comes to my memory. Are we passing this wrong? Oh, let's go here and no, this is the way that we should pass them, as it says here. So I'm a little bit concerned because we have only one string, which is CPU comma OS, and we should have CPU and then one more for OS. Hmm. Let's try to look for array string. Yeah, so this get value. Let's see what happens if we pass this with a space. Okay. Oh yeah, that's because we're running this, right? Yes. Clear, and then let me go again. No. Okay. How can I pass a string array to a an option like module, and then I should pass a list of values. I tried doing it like this: CPU OS, but it takes it as a single string. I'm using system.command line NuGet package and done it. Let's see if he can help us. Okay, let me check for that. Um, um, modules option. Modules option. Parity, it's one or more. Do we have something like that? Um, allow true. Oh, maybe it's this. Okay, let's see if this does the trick. Yeah, maybe I should have tried just running the application. No, it did. It didn't. Coma memory. Nope. 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 And nope. Modules and M. This is a string array. Hmm, okay, let's try doing it space separated. Whoa, there you go. So, okay, CPU, memory, OS. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, ChatGPT. Okay, so now we have this working also. We have fixed this. We just had to add this line, and it did the trick. So it should be like this. Okay, now we have one more working. That's nice. We're making everything work today. Today is actually a pretty good day. Everything is going uh, even better as I expected. So now we have this one working. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna go and give it a check. And let's say something like, oops, nope, check. My bad, my bad. Yep, also for this one. Working, working, example three. Yep, this was working from the beginning. Default config also working from the beginning. Okay, let's see if this one is working. Format minimal and no icons. Okay, clear.net run. So just for you to see, this is the default. So if we do this and say, oops, sorry, format is minimal and no icon. Okay, yes, we have minimal. We are not adding any panel, and we don't pass or we don't need any icons. So these ones also working a-okay. And using the config file, yes. Actually, let's go to config.json. Oh, whoopsie. Oh, yes, that's because if we don't pass anything, it's gonna take it like, OS. It's gonna take the default values. Run dash dash. Okay, so we should have one OS. Let's say format trees. Whoops. Oh, yes, I was. Okay. Icons false. There you go. Just OS. So let's now pass OMA CPU, memory, and GPU. Do we have GPU? I'm not even sure. Oh, yes, we do. We do have. And if we pass icons as true, let's see what we get. Nice, beautiful. So our config file it's also working. That's so good. Yep. Okay, let's close this one. Let me close this. And let's make this. Oh, also let's close this. We finished the debug session. It was a pretty productive and well aimed debugging session. We did really good today. So benefits of this architecture, modularity, performance, yada 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 yada. All this. Yes. So next steps, review this guide. Yeah. Choose which. Yeah. We already did this, and we test and iterate. configuration support. That's working. Okay, guys. So I think we did a pretty good progress today. Our configuration is working. We can use custom configuration file if we want. We are looking the modules, which was my biggest concern. This option working so good. I think we can actually go and check for .NET Run help, and let's see the available commands so far. Yeah, we have no icons, parallel, list modules, generate config, version, format. We have these formats. Yeah, maybe for this I can put them in a set of brackets, so it is easier to look at. We got the modules working and configuration working so beautiful that I couldn't even believe it. So we have everything working. I didn't expect to make such a good progress, but just taking it easy, doing some chill check, and we had to make some changes here, and that was it. So where should we go next from here? I think let me go and close this, and we can nope, we can check for LANMD, and then open the preview, and let me actually we can check this. Oops. Yep. Yes, this is pending. Working. um I think we can say no, 7. You know what, actually I can take this from here, put it down here, and say something like future updates, update, or enhance, best, something like progress. Now let's calendar. Also this coloring option, let's remove it from here. Whoopsie. Completed. And let's take these two down here. And I think we can do something like day 8 plan. Sorry guys, I had to sneeze, but I'm back. And I can do something like create no add missing modules. Create a grouping mechanism for modules. That's because I want it to be like before, like have the related modules together. Maybe we can create a dictionary with like a constant with a dictionary to say these guys belong to system information, these guys belong to memory, these guys belong to anything, you know. So we can group them on different groups. So we can put them on different groups. Grouping mechanism for modules. I like this, so we can have it looking good. Oh yes, I was yes, I was almost forgetting. Um, add. I think let's go to render. We're missing the render left panel. Okay, add left panel. Um, render method. Let's say. Also, I think move any missing logic in module result render from old render file. What else can we do on day 8? Um, add the missing modules, create a grouping mechanism, left panel render method, old or any missing logic from the old render file, and maybe start planning the interactive configuration wizard. Okay, this is an ambitious plan. I want to create you know a an interactive configuration wizard, so the user can run it. From there the user can start checking the modules he wants to display, the rendering, like if he wants trees, panels, or something, also the coloring scheme. And then once he is done, the new configuration file will be created, and if there was an existing one, it will be overridden. Or yes, so that's an ambitious plan, but I really want to create that. That's something that I think it will be really fun to do with Spectre console, and actually using system command line. So make sure you don't miss it, guys. I think this is all for today. It was a pretty good session. It was really, really, really a good progress today. And make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Also, everything is in the Osembu Sharfetch repo. And if you want, go and pass by to my blog unit coding. There I have some sick application like this to do with Blazor. I have also a Google Translate clone, and um an API series on how to create your own API using .NET and a ASP.NET Core, which I have to follow. I have to continue and get it to an end. So guys, thank you for being here today. It was a pretty good session. I enjoyed so much. I really enjoyed getting everything done in the end. And this is the plan for the next session. I hope you can be there. So let's continue working on this. Thank you guys, and see you in the next one.